Well, hello. It is the Nerds News, presented by me, Chief Nerd at Advanced Computer Solutions, Albert Steed, IT dork, dating back decades of playing with computers, other related nerd stuff. We're doing the news today, as we do always. But first, let's start with our salute to our fellow small business owners. Love you all. Appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's jump right into it. News story number one, Microsoft forces passkeys on M365 users. Microsoft has started rolling out passkey sign-in for Microsoft 365 business accounts, making it the default authentication method. So, I've tried to use passkeys. Tried. It always seems to be something stupid happens that breaks it. I just see the technology as, I don't know if unreliable is the right word, confusing. Because there's so many places you can store a passkey at. You can store it in your password manager. You can store it on your computer. You can store it, I believe, on your phone. Maybe, I don't even know. It gets so confusing. So I always like plugging in the numbers, even though I hate it. But to me, it always seems to work better. Get your random number, you plug it in, off you go. I just had passkeys get broken so many times. So, well, I don't know what that means for us, for all of us business people who are trying to just be productive. What a passkey is. I probably should explain what a passkey is. A passkey is basically a digital signature that lives on a device that's not the computer that's trying to access the resource that the computer is trying to access. So, we've always had passwords, and passwords are something that something that's in your brain that, you have to know. You need the password to get through the castle gate. A passkey would be like saying, okay, well, you know the password, but I also need you to have the talisman that the king gave you. Without the talisman, you can't get through. So that's something you have. So that would be the passkey. It's definitely more secure than just a password. It is a form of MFA, multi-factor authentication. And they do make life, when they work, they're great. You don't have to do anything. You click use passkey and magic happens and you get through and off you go. It's just when it breaks, which it seems to do a lot. All right. So yeah, let's see. Let's look at 2 million Microsoft 365 business accounts will be affected. Change may cause confusion among small business IT admins. Well, duh. But y'all got to do it. It's a better way of doing it, and it'll get better. It'll get more reliable. All right, next news item. Talking about our favorite companies, Google and Microsoft. Well, now we're on to Google. Google scales down AI costs with Gemini 2.5 Flash. I find this story interesting. So Gemini 2.5 Flash is a new model in the Gemini 2.5 family that's optimized for speed and volume tasks like invoice parsing. How many darn invoices you need to parse, but for most of my business folk, I don't know. How many invoices do we generate? Scheduling automation and customer inquiry handling. So yeah, I tend to use that kind of thing a lot. The AIs for the internals of Advanced Computer Solutions. This model is about 10 times cheaper than Gemini 2.5 Pro, making it an attractive option. So what does 10 times cheaper mean in raw dollars? So it is 15 cents per million input tokens. Now we talked, I believe it was yesterday, about, I don't remember whose it was. Maybe it was Claude's Haiku. Maybe that's what it was, at 8 cents per million input tokens. So, this stuff can be confusing. I know that for your free AIs, the AIs that you can put on your own computer that are free, they've got two numbers. There's an 8, there's a 32. I've got those two AIs installed, and the 8 is as dumb as a box of rocks. It's very limited what it can do. The 32 is It's dumber than Claude, but smarter than the 8. And the 32 runs really slow on this box that I've got here, where the 8 is lightning fast. So I don't know. I guess anything that brings down the price. But what's also interesting, I don't know if you've, continuing on in this vein, if you saw the headlines that Elon is now selling compute to Claude, and Claude had, for a while there, their service had degraded really a lot, and they were kind of throttling things, making it really expensive, or just limiting the amount of AI you can use. And it turns out that was due to not having enough compute power. So these guys, so they've partnered up with Elon, who apparently has more compute power than them. And now it's gotten cheaper and gotten more available. So yeah, anything that makes it cheaper is better, I guess. I just like to think of it as everything I have it do costs me something, especially if you're using an API. If you've just got a subscription and you've got so much compute that you've prepaid for, now it's just a matter of, how do I either use it all because I paid for it, or if I always use it all, how do I not use it so much or more efficiently? And so at that point, you're just taking these every AI thing that you do and turning it into dollars, especially with an API. An API is literally, you can look at the price. You can go and say, well, I did 50 AI things and it cost me 50 cents. So it's 10 cents per, penny per AI thing. So AI is not free. When we talk about replacing employees with AI, there is a cost. And the more expensive electricity gets, the more expensive your AI is going to get. And, I would say that the AIs in some ways are more intelligent than some of the humans I've worked with. And in many other ways, as dumb as a box of rocks. So it's a hit and miss. Next news item: Windows 11 24H2 May update causes boot loop on certain devices. So this is the same update we've been talking about. This is why we can't just not do updates, because this happens every time. We have to do it. We got to deal with it. So Microsoft has acknowledged a bug in the May 2026 cumulative update that causes boot loops on workstations connected to specific USB-C docking stations from Dell and HP. Company has provided a workaround involving disconnecting the dock before updating. Well, okay. We don't sell to HP. We have very few Dells out there, even fewer USB-C docking stations, but it's almost impossible for us to actually know what's going on with these docking stations because those don't report to us. So that's what's going on there. It's got some other numbers that don't make any sense. So yeah, just unplug it, I guess, and then you'll probably boot right up if you find that you're in a boot loop with this docking station hooked up to it. On to the quick hits. Google releases Gemini. We already talked about that. Yeah, we already talked about that. Rockwell Automation releases critical patch for arena simulation software. A critical patch for multiple high severity vulnerabilities in its arena simulation software. This is a Rockwell, is a manufacturing vendor guy, people. So if you've got some Rockwell stuff out there, get it patched. CISO warns of actively exploited vulnerability in SAP NetWeaver. So if you're an SAP client, and especially manufacturers out there who use SAP, there is a critical vulnerability in your NetWeaver, and get it patched ASAP. We don't like critical vulnerabilities. That's today's news. Quick and easy. Not a lot interesting going on today. Nothing like yesterday where we had all kinds of fun stuff. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I did get to get this in today, even though I was super busy. Look forward to seeing everybody on Monday. I hope everybody's weekend is amazing. Goodbye.